Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of this talk, we are going to talk about the quarterly earnings for the one of the largest equipment maker for the construction for the resource and energy industry. It operates across the world on almost all the continents, and it has been a leading manufacturer for many decades. It has expertise, the technology developed through all these years of operations and innovation. Along with that, it has been helped by well managed finances. In the last quarter, we saw that even in the challenging circumstances where its revenues remained flat, it was able to demonstrate more efficiency, and as a result of that, its operating profit grew, its margin got better, and in the second half of this year, it is expecting the revenues to grow as well, and with better price realizations, we can expect further growth in the net profit. So it will be the best of both worlds when its revenues also rise along with better margins. And in this kind of situation where the outlook is also on the brighter side and the company is getting better in managing its operations, we can expect the shareholders to be happy too. And well, they are, because in the last quarter, the Caterpillar Inc. went for the share buyback program of US dollar 4.5 million, and it also paid US dollar 600 million to the shareholders. So overall, it spent upward of US dollar 5 million in these two programs and rewarded the shareholders handsomely. So this has helped its share price remain buoyant for last couple of months, and even in the foreseeable future. I expect its bullish streak to continue, its bullishness to continue, and we can try to take advantage of this momentum with the help of various strategies. So first, we need to be aware of its business fundamentals, and afterwards we will also consider the technical charting possibilities along with its fundamentals. This is the first quarter earnings report, which was released in the month of April. In the consolidated statement of results of operation, you can see that total revenues are not very different from the same quarter of fiscal year 2023. So in this 1 year, its revenues have remained flat. But then if you look at the operating cost, the cost of goods sold has reduced. The selling general and administrative expense is up, and R&D is also on the slightly higher ground. But then, if you look at the other operating expenses, the other operating expenses have reduced significantly. So that has opened up some headroom for the better operating profit, which can translate to net profit if the company is able to manage its finances well. And it has done precisely that, where its interest expenses remain low at US dollar 143 million. And if we consider the taxes, the provision for the taxes, which were slightly lower this time around in comparison to the last year. So the profit from the consolidation came in at US dollar 2.84 billion, which is significantly more, almost more than 40 percentage point up in comparison to the US dollar 1.92 billion a year back. So you can see that the revenues are flat but helped by better price realizations and improving operational efficiency. We have these significant jump in the profitability, and that has been the driving factor behind the rising valuation of the company and its ability to reward the shareholders. Now we consider its cash flow statement to see where the cash is coming from and how it is being spent. From the operations, it was able to generate net inflow of US dollar 2.05 billion, which is significantly higher in comparison to the US dollar 1.57 billion a year back. So there is this better inflow because the profit is on the higher side this time around. For the investment activity, there was no cash outflow, rather, there was cash inflow on account of investment activity, and this is not something which happens often, many a times, because the companies usually take decisions to invest in the long term to the short term. We saw, we see cash outflows, but for the Caterpillar, there was this inflow because there was collection of the finances receivables of US dollar 3.14 billion, and then proceeds from the maturities and sales of securities was also significant at US dollar 1.86 billion. So this item single-handedly turned the cash flows from possible outflows to the realized inflows. Cash flows from the financing activity stood at US dollar 5 billion of outflow because it has spent for the repurchase of shares of US dollar 4.45 billion, and dividends paid have been US dollar 6.48 billion. So these two items have taken away more than US dollar 5 billion away from the company's books to the pockets of the shareholders, and as a result of that, there is this cash outflow of US dollar 5 billion. But overall, the company's finances are in good shape. It is utilizing the money it has on its hand judiciously, and I feel that in the coming quarters, it is going to grow its cash pile again, and we are likely to see its cash and cash equivalents rise again by the end of this fiscal year. Now we turn our gaze to the charting. In it, you can see that after having touched its recent swing high of 382, the Caterpillar has gone into a consolidation phase where it is simply trying to consolidate gains. It is moving in a narrow range, but for the Caterpillar, the range is narrower only in a relative term. If you consider the range of the price move, it is quite good. It is in a 15 percentage point range, which can be termed as a bit volatile. In the short run, in the short term, if your outlook is just for a couple of sessions, maybe a week or two, then I feel that you should pay attention to this consolidation levels of around 320. For last couple of sessions, we have seen it find support close to this 320 mark and try to find some buyers as well. It has seen couple of times buying spurts, and if we take these two factors together, I think there is a good chance of the possible move towards 335 for 340 or even beyond that. So that possibility looks strong provided these recent support holds, and that is what I am counting on. I feel we can indeed go for the possible bullish momentum prevailing in the short term. So adopting a buy on dip strategy is going to be worthwhile in my opinion. And if we consider the current price moves, the price is in a zone where the risk reward ratio is also going to be favorable. So we can even go for a straight away market entry while putting the stop loss with a little bit of buffer from the immediate swing low. And in the next few sessions, we can expect the price of the Caterpillar to rise towards 340 if not more. So that is going to provide us with decent risk reward ratio as well. Now we change our time horizon to the medium term. So I have changed the candlestick time period to daily from hourly. The outlook for the next few quarter is on the bullish side. Its revenues are expected to grow, and as we have seen, it is managing its operations well. So these two factors are likely to keep it in bullish trajectory for the foreseeable future, for the immediate future, over next couple of months, if not more. In the medium term, the Caterpillar Inc. looks in a bullish momentum. It has gone into consolidation phase after touching this 380 mark, and since then it has been hovering around this 330 350 price range, and it is going to be interesting to see how things are likely to pan out from here onward. It has I think entered into a consolidation phase with slightly bearish bias on these elevated levels. So it is better to go for the range and see what is the price level on which your risk reward ratio is going to be favorable. And I feel as long as it is holding below its immediate swing low of around 360 365, we are in a good position to keep looking for short selling opportunities. So pay attention to the next retracement as we are expecting some price spurt on the higher side in the short term. So if that short term spurt takes it anywhere close to the immediate swing high, but it doesn't really cross above that and holds below or holds close to it, I think in course of time we can even initiate the short sell trade. So that is the possibility which is there in the medium term. It is basically a range bound play. I'm not really expecting any significant move, any sharp move on either side over next few weeks. In the long term, the momentum is quite strong. It has been continuously gaining ground, and in the span of these couple of quarters, 2 quarters, it has risen by more than 40 percentage point, almost close to 50 percentage point from the low immediate swing low to the immediate swing high. And after this stupendous rally, if it enters into a consolidation zone and spends maybe a couple of months hovering closer to this peak, I would say it is part of the pattern. It is the way share price moves generally in the market, and we should be able to take advantage of it at the current juncture where the cat is sitting close to its immediate swing high. I don't really feel short selling is going to be a good option from the long run, but provided it continues its bullish momentum and there is no sharp downturn in its share price over next few months, we can be counting on the possibility of further move on the higher side in keeping up with the price formation of higher highs and higher lows. So watch out for the price action closer to the 300 mark. It shouldn't really decline too much too far, and if it holds the ground in a course of time, we can expect further rally in coming months as well. So that's my take looking at the quarterly earnings of the Caterpillar along with its share price movements over last few days, last few weeks, last few months. Now it's time for me to sign off for the day and say you goodbye. But before I do that, I would like to remind you to please subscribe to the channel as You will be able to watch equally informative sessions by me and other technical hosts. Join in. See you next time around. Till then, goodbye.